Hey everybody, Rich Gibney here with Ballroom Journey. We are a part of the programming at the Middletown Arts Center, Middletown, New Jersey. And welcome back to another lesson. Today we are going to focus on technique in the American rhythm. And the concept we're going to do is fairly easy to do slowly. And then becomes more difficult as you go faster, as you move this into your rumba and then your cha-cha, your mambo, or any pattern salsa, or any dance rather, that has the pattern, the crossover breaks. This also applies to a few other random patterns, which I'll mention a couple to us as we're dancing along. It's easy, so let's get up from the computer. You can try it right where you are. We're not going to move very far. And I'm going to eliminate all the other body actions except for what we need for this movement. And then we'll go back and plug in the other aspects. So, we're going to prevent flailing legs. And I joke with a couple of my students about February being flailing leg month, something to be aware of. And that's what we're going to focus on now. When we dance into a crossover break, when I'm out at parties, I see this happen quite often. Is that you, as I'm doing the leader's part, but it's for everybody to see this happen, is that you do your crossover and the whole body moves at one time. You go in, you rock, and you come back out, and there's no division in the body, the head, the shoulders, the hips, the ribs, the feet, and as a result, it looks very blocky. You're coming in, and you're coming out, and it's very square. The followers, the same exact thing. You get the lead to go, the arm goes, and everything works as one piece, and it's not very flattering. So, how we fix this is, when you go to your crossover, I want to look first, and then the head turns, and then everything else spirals down to the feet to go. So it's head, then my shoulders, and then my ribs, and then the hip generates the foot to come through. I keep my side lead for the crossover, and then I step back and I come out. So did you catch all of that? Right? That's a lot to think about. So it's head, shoulder goes, my rib follows immediately afterwards, and there's a little twist in the midsection, abdominal section, and right at that point, that's when my hip will go, my foot swivels, and my moving leg collects under my body. You do not want to turn, and this leg just opens up through the middle. So again, the idea, the concept is it's head, shoulder, ribs, midsection, hip, collect, dance your crossover, and then you come back out again, right? So if I do the followers part, same rules, same thing applies. I do my head, my shoulder, my ribs, the hip and feet, the leg is collected, and then I go through. And then I come back out. So again, I have my head, shoulder, ribs, hip, feet, and then I go. Now I'm pausing when I make my rotation to show that my feet or my ankles are together, right? And that's the crucial part. The faster the music, the less time you're going to have to stop there. So in rumba, I might have the opportunity to collect and then go through, but cha-cha, which is much faster, cha-cha-cha, I'm going to go right through to my rock action. I don't want you to get caught up on making the stop and then going. I don't want you to think about that. I want you to think of, when you're practicing slowly, find this position, knowing that you're going to move through it, right, for either foot. So I collect it to show you that I'm together, but the concept is I'm going to keep moving through. And I want to take a side step from this for a moment. When you do the crossover, right, there is a sense of rotation, the rock forward, the check action forward, the replacement, then after I brush the turn. You see what just happened? I turned, I stay here for the whole rock, forward rock, back rock, the collecting of the foot, and then I turn out. And the idea is that I want to stay facing forward as long as possible, as opposed to, which is very common now, which I see, is the rock forward, and as we replace the weight back, I see a lot of us already turning away from that. Does not provide a good lead, doesn't follow very well. So you want to hold on to your spot as long as possible. So if I dance this again into the camera, I turn my head, shoulder, ribs, midsection, collect. I stay to you. I replace the weight back, and as I draw my foot in, that's when I make the next turn. Okay, so the followers, so just as I say follow, so I'm using the right foot now. It's the same concept. I start to look, I find my spot, I stay here, and then I collect, and the head keeps going through to the next part. So let's try this again. I look, shoulders, collect through, I'm staying with you, and then I look away. Make a brief contact with my partner, visual contact, option for the hand change, and then I look, and everything begins the other way. So now I'm turning in the spot, my leg is collecting as opposed to flailing, and that's the technique part for today. The other time that, before I get ahead of myself, let's do this a couple of times together. Excited to talk about the rest of the body now. And I'll dance it sideways. In the previous technique class, we talked about all the body actions, including the crunching of one side and elongating the other side. When this happens is as I'm bringing my hip to the front part to create the rolling action backward, the figure 8 action. Right before that happens is when I look. And as it settles through, it goes with the body, and I pass through. And as I take my side step, I have to re-crunch the hip, and then everything else applies again. Boom. And lift. Through. And lift. Through. And lift. And go. So let's run with my back to a few times. We'll do 4 crossovers. Okay, so the weight is on the right foot for everybody. Left hip is lifted, the rib cage is out, and I look, swivel, rock, replace, look, swivel, rock, replace, look, swivel, rock, replace, look, swivel, rock, replace, and there you go. So again, this is, and there you go. So this is an easy concept to do. It's just more difficult as you go through. Another example where this applies is for the ladies at the end of the Cuban walk, when the leader snaps you to come back and you start to walk back toward them. So if you have your right foot and you have your last 3 steps of your Cuban walk, quick, quick, slow, and right here, he turns you towards him, right? So the lead comes, I look, make the eye contact, shoulders, ribs, hip, midsection, boom. And we always say, you want to create the Marilyn Monroe picture here, right? So you have a chance to collect because you're on the slow count. And, you're wrapping into your own armpit, and then you land, maybe the hand is on the hip, and you have a left side lead. Keep that left side as you walk forward. Then you can transition the rest of the way. I digress. But the last 3 steps of the Cuban walk with the right foot, quick, quick, slow. As you dance the hip, you look, and then you get it come back forward. So that's another example of when this applies. You could also do this in your walk around turn, and this changes the dynamic or the look of your walk around turn for everybody, leader or follower, dramatically. So we learned for a walk around turn is walk, about face, and then you come back to your partner. But if we do the followers part first for this, if you do the first part of dancing your hip, you look and you step through, and now continue that. Head, look, hip, and then look, hip. It becomes a bit snappier, right? So you would have and look, look, look. Followers, or leaders rather, the same exact thing. Instead of walk and everything's turning at one time, a little bit more dynamic is you look, snap, check, look, snap, step, snap, and come out. And that changes the look of your walk around turn dramatically. That is also excellent for, say, salsa, if you want to do a double turn, where you buy some time by making a half a turn, then you flip the hips, right? I kind of went quickly. Is I take my step, I look, snap, and now instead of doing a double turn, I only have to do 1.5 turns to come back to face front. So that's another example when you would use this. Okay, so the devil was in the details, but the idea is that you look and then everything starts to rotate into position. In the crossover, you want to make sure that you're going to maintain your crossover for as long as possible before you come out of it, as opposed to as you rock back, start to look away. So I'm getting ahead of myself. First things first is use of the body, part one. I'm looking, everything rotates, the foot collects. That's the main point I wanted to stress to you tonight, whatever. Is to collect the foot as opposed to letting it flail out. We have a lot of space. So the collection. The second aspect is in the crossover, is to hold this position as long as possible and then transition to the opposite side. You can do that, like I said, also in the Cuban walk for the followers. And then if you're going to do in the walk around turn, at the end of, say, your cha-cha or your rumba, or in your salsa or mambo, if you want to prepare for 2 turns, this is a great way to set yourself up. Okay, good luck. I hope you're practicing. Try to implement this a little bit on your own or when you're dancing with a partner, whenever that may be, hopefully sooner rather than later. All right, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.